Hiya, it's Kerry from Mobilates. Happy New Year. It's lovely to see you again. I hope you're all keeping well. It is, it's a tricky time of year because all the sort of joy and the lights of the last few weeks are fading. We just have to embrace the new light that's coming, get ourselves moving, keep our spirits up. Let's get started. So we're going to be standing or sitting for the first half, and then we move to a lying down. So it could be lying down on the floor, it could be lying down on your bed. Just take the duvet off. Either will work. But let's start in a comfortable sitting or standing. I've got my legs a little bit wider because that always feels a little bit more comfortable for me. And then we're going to clasp our hands, interlock our hands. You can see my fingers there. If your fingers don't do that, just stack them instead, and then you can move them up. And I'm going to take a breath in and take the hands up. And then as you breathe out, down come your hands. You can see I've got my fingers coming a little bit towards my shoulders. It just stretches all along there. And then down. And then clasp, turn outwards. You can even look up, breathing in, breathing out. I'll go again. And this time, as you move outwards, give those fingers a wiggle, like they're raining. Breathe in, breathe out, and then start to make it a little bit more dynamic. So just move your arms a bit more, push up, little stretch, push out. Again, breathe in, push up, wiggle out. Two more, up, out, up they go, out they go. And I'm wondering who's with me today, who's in our sort of usual crew coming back, giving me a hello, who's here maybe for the first time, maybe a New Year's resolution, you want to get moving more. So if you're here for the first time, for the second time, for the 100th time maybe, this is my 68th time, pop me a hello in there and I'll just keep an eye out here. But meanwhile, let's have our hands on our hips, I think this time. Move your feet a little bit closer so that your feet look down. It's about room for a paperback book. And we'll just start on a little pelvic tilt. Now, another nice way to do this is you cradle your belly. So it could even, if you've got your top on, sort of layers over the top, hands underneath there. But just hold your belly. And it's like you're hugging it towards your back. So this is a breath out as you hug back. This is the breath in as it comes forwards and you feel the fullness of your belly at the front. Breathing out, take it back. Breathing in, it just drops forwards. Breathing out, taking it back. Really what you're doing is lengthening your back. But just this cue, this sort of idea of thinking about this area and hugging back can help you get that movement, and using your exhale, your breath going out. And one more. And then we'll put our fingers in another clasp, either like this, or you could hold your hands like that. Elbows out. Give your shoulders a little wiggle. You don't want to feel them up by your ears. We'll just wiggle them down. We'll take the elbows wide. So if I show you at the side, we're like that. And then we're going to take ear down towards shoulder, up to the center. Ear towards the other shoulder, up to the center. Just keep going like that. You're breathing along the way. As long as you're not holding your breath, it's all good. And then come to the center, drop your chin towards this little dip in your collarbone. Keep your hands where they are and just roll your head one way and then the other. And then if you want to make this bigger, so I go for a sort of 2/3 of a circle split into two halves. I guess that's a third each way. But some people really like to do more of a circle. Some of you are going to want to do less, so go with what works for you. And then roll your head up. Let your arms just have a little swing. And then we'll start some shoulder rolls. Breathing in, forwards and up. Breathing out, round the back. And I've tried to put lots of sort of stretchy things today, things to make you feel longer, to make you feel more open, because you might have spent a lot of time like that. You might have been doing a lot of sitting. You might have been in a car for a long journey over the last few weeks. Just might have been quite still, just not moving around as much. Or it could be a lot of eating. It could be a lot of drinking. You know, it's a time when we tend to indulge and you don't tend to sort of move around and open up. You may not have done your shoulders like this for a while. So I might be feeling good, but also might be feeling a bit stiff. So just take it easy. And then take an elbow back and the other elbow and let your body move as you're doing this. Listen to your clicks and clacks. I can hear mine. And if they're not hurting, they're pretty harmless. Sometimes it's just the waiting for the noises that you know are coming, and they can sound a bit threatening, but usually they're nothing. They're just part of the body, especially as we get older. Back to the centre, and then just moving back so you can see my feet a little more. We're going to take one heel up and down, and the other one up and down. Keep this area still, so you might want your hands here, or you might want to be holding on to something, because it makes you a bit sort of unbalanced and wobbly. And if you're sitting, just the same, one foot and then the other foot. I feel like it's so dark despite the many lights that I've got in front of me that you can't see, but they're not really illuminating my feet very much. And then we're going to start bringing one up and then the other and swapping over mid-air. And bring the arms too. So if you're sitting, it's going to look like that. If you're standing, it's going to look like a very, very slow walk on the spot. But what we're really concentrating on is no wiggles, none of this, just really straight. And that's where this control comes in, front and back body. Could also look like this. Coming up really tall. So just think upwards, think growing tall. That's it. And then take your feet down and we're going to do a little rotation. So let's warm up this twisty feeling first. Have a little swish, take your legs wider, let your feet move, let your body sway. And just turn a little, looking to the side, each side. I always like to think that I'm swishing through really warm water as I'm doing this. Maybe I'm in a jacuzzi, maybe I'm in the sea on a really gorgeous day. So that's brought that little bit of rotation in, that's come in a bit more. And then we're going to do a little sort of crisscross. So I'll show you how it looks if we're standing. I'm going to tap the knee, just turn the body. Now at the moment, I'm on a heel raise. I've not lifted that foot completely off the ground, but I could. So it might be slow and steady wins the race. It might be that you use a chair some of the time. And if you're sitting, just coming right to the tip of your toe. And you can feel how that works at your sides really nicely. A little out breath as you turn would be perfect. One more each way. And then your feet are down and the arms are going to do a backstroke. That's it. Now you're just taking the arms comfortably back. So if your comfortable back is there, that's where it goes. And if it's there, that's where it goes. So just find your place. And we're keeping our heads back so the chin isn't coming forwards, nice and long at the back, and feel really tall as you're doing this. Grow even taller. And then take your arms out to the sides and let yourself turn and look around. Now, if you're sitting on the chair, you don't have as much space. You definitely need to come forwards on the chair, and your arms might be floating a little lower because you don't want them to whack into the chair sides. If you're standing up, they might be flowing through the air, or you could let your arms fall onto your body. Can you get that flumpy sound as your hands flop onto the sides? And then slowing that down and coming back to the center. Until you're still. And then we're going to just reach down one side, come up, down the other, come up, down one side, up, down the other, come up, one more each side. And we're going to do something a little different, side to side. And then we're going to take a step and a step as wide as you can, and let your arms just flow with you. Now, if you're sitting, just sit wide. And just move your body over first. And you can move your feet a little. You won't want to take them right over, but just over to the centre line. And you're just trying to glide over and work these sides a little bit. One more time, over. Oh, and then we're going to stand and take the arm over, or sit and take the arm right over the top. And back to the centre. And then one more over the other way and take the other arm over the top. And back to the centre. Right, where are we going next? Oh yeah, a little squat. I'm going to fit these ones in. So take your legs wide. Send your bottom backwards first. So you just get that feeling of your bottom going back. Think of it as closing a drawer. I've now got drawers over here, so imagine that I'm just trying to close the top one with my bottom, just to get that action. And if you're sitting, little move forwards, you're just hinging with straight back forwards and your legs are wide. If you're feeling very sort of uncomfortable here, you know, you haven't got much strength here, use your hands to help. That's it. If you feel a little stronger, you can keep your hands here and come a little lower. And then if you're standing, you can start bending your knees and offering your arms forwards a little. They can sort of hold each other, clasp is back again. And then as we stand up tall, reach your arms behind you and start to send your chest up. So you're sitting back and send your chest up. You can do it with a chair. If I show you from the side, this is not a seated version, you're using the chair as a prop. But you just touch the chair. It just gives you a little target. Or you might hover just above the chair. You're not ready to go down that far. But you could be doing it like that if your knees are really cranky. That move is fine. But that little up with the chest. Oh, that's nice. And the arms pressing back. Couple more, and then we're going to hold that press back and give a little squeeze. So let's hold that press back. And the squeeze is right where my hair is, between the shoulder blades. Like you're trying to squeeze your t-shirt or squeeze a pencil Or squeeze your hair if your hair's going down your back. Ooh, that feels nice. And then we'll circle an arm out, just to ease that out. And then we're going to go into a roll down. So I'm going to give you a hinged roll down. So just very similar to what we've just done. Take your bottom back, the knees are hardly bent. Rest your hands on your thighs. And then just start to curl under. It's like the belly going back, like we did at the beginning. And then standing up. You can take this lower. You can take it to the chair. And this is much more comfortable if you've got osteoporosis. It's not putting a weighted bend on your spine and a crush sort of here. It's giving you some flexibility and reducing any risk problems you might have if you were doing something more of a traditional roll down and having weighted bend forwards. Last one. And then we're going to make our way down to the floor. So you may want a cushion for your head, just for comfort. You know, I'm all about the comfort. So I'm going to take one of these, I think. Oh, I better take the camera down with me so you get the best view. And then when you get down there, spend the first minute or so just having a little wriggle, checking there's a bit of room above, a bit of room below, adjusting yourself so it feels about right. A bit of room to the sides. That's good. And then just settling yourself, thinking, is there a bit that's uncomfortable? Like as your low back feels a bit, just needs to wriggle and settle, or your head or neck. So just spend that time just settling. And then I'd like your feet flat on the ground, quite close to your bottom, legs comfortable distance apart, and your hands on your hip bones, belly area. And then I just want you to start to circle. I call this marble on a plate. I always think of a round drinks tray with an edge on it. You can even imagine the sound that a marble would make going around a metal drinks tray. That sort of, I don't know how to describe it, little sound, little growl. And you can close your eyes. Just concentrate on that circular motion. Now, if your legs are moving, that's okay. But can they move a little less? So that it's only small movements, like they're murmuring. And then you can feel a little bit more of your belly and your back. And you're breathing all this time. You're definitely not holding your breath. But you're going to pause. And now that marble's going around the other way. So it might take a few revolutions around the tray to get smooth. So just taking your time, especially on any sticky bits. And a couple more. And then you're done. And we're going to go straight into taking your arms out wide, taking your legs out wide, and then dipping a knee down. Now this other knee, it could go out like that, but we can also leave it up, and I'm quite interested in leaving that one up for this time. So just think about this one coming in, and then that can go up towards the ceiling. The other one goes down, up towards the ceiling. So you're just dipping one down, the other one just stays where it is. We'll do the other thing when they both move in a moment. And your gaze is just up towards the ceiling. This is where we all need like an amazing ceiling to look at. One more each side. And then now let's let them rock and sway. So they both move. One dips down to the center, the other goes far out to the side. And you can see there's a gap here, the space. My shoulders and head definitely stay on the floor, but everything else just can move a bit more. And you can really push. And this leg at the back each time, that's the one that can push. You might even feel that you're rolling down the mat a little bit. You have to push yourself back up. Oh, I think this one feels delicious. And we'll go for a few more of these. And you can start to turn your head the opposite way to the knees. And the knees are now going to the side each time. And then come back to the center. Bring your feet in, heel toeing them in, and just slide whatever is under your head out for this next one. Arms are going down by your sides. Feet come close to your bottom, and your knees and your feet are a little distance apart. They're not super wide anymore. Right, I want you to concentrate on your feet, the balls of your feet, your toes, trying to get a bit of sensation there. So let's lift the toes up and down. And it is quite chilly. My feet are super cold. I'm finding it hard to get a huge amount of sensation through there. So just start to press as if you're going to push your bottom up in the air, but just press through the feet. Get a bit of sensation. One foot, then the other, and then both. Let's take a breath in. As you breathe out, press through the feet. You might feel you're just starting to get a bit of tension going through your legs here. That might be all you can feel. And then relax, breath in. Breathe out, press through the feet. That's it. And then we're going to go again, and this time we're going to go up. Breath in. Press through the feet, squeeze your bottom, lift your hips up. As you breathe in, you come down. Breathe out, you come up. In, you come down. Out, you come up. In, you come down. Move your legs and feet together. So it's a bit more wobbly. You can have your arms out a little bit more if you want. So they're not close to your sides, just a bit further out. Gives you a little bit of stability. Lift up, come down, open your legs out. Legs together, lift up, come down, open your legs out. Close them together, lift up, squeeze your bottom, come down, open your legs out, lift up, come down, open your legs. This time's different. Lift up, bring your arms up, over if you can. Oh, I've just got that cushion in a nice place to receive them. And then up, keep them up in the air, bring them down. Not your arms, your hips. And then we'll just have a little up and down. Oh, I can feel bottom muscles really working hard. And last one. And then come down and bring your knees in towards your chest. Hug them in, maybe a little roll or a sway. And then we're going to do a bit of circling, steering the knees, or you can have your hands underneath. Just start making some circles and letting your back just rock with this. I like to keep my feet touching, but they don't have to. They could be a little bit apart. Just makes me feel a bit more sort of balanced so I don't go too off to one side or the other. And then go the other way. And then the feet go down on the floor. Slide your legs long. They can be apart or together, whichever you're comfortable with. Arms are going to go down by your sides, and then bring your toes towards your nose and then let them go long. Up towards your nose, pushing your heels away and then long. Up towards your nose, keep them there. Reach your arms as if you're trying to slide them even further down your arms. And now roll your head from one side to the other. One side to the other. Keep those toes coming back. Keep rolling your head. Last time each way. And then relax, have a little flop, bend your legs. And we're going to roll onto our fronts. So take your time. Roll onto your side first. You might want to sort of push yourself up and adjust and just get yourself comfortable, but take your time. There's no hurry. So we're going onto our fronts. Now, if your lower back is tight, it can feel nice to have a cushion right under the belly. I'm going to have that. Sometimes I get a little tight there. Some people like a little cushion just under their forehead. I don't. I'd rather have my forehead down. It feels nicer. I'm going to use my hands though to start with. So hands are making a little cushion for the head. I sort of go on one hand. Some people like two. So just feel what's right for you. You want your neck to feel long, not like your head's lifted up. Legs are long and the feet are reaching away from you, so they're not flopped to the sides. They're definitely long and feeling like they're ready to do something. Breath in, and as you breathe out, lift a leg just a little. It's like it's been lifted and it's been pulled. So rather than this, which starts to arch the back, we're just lifting it. It's about to the top of where your butt cheeks are. That will be enough. And then take it down. And then lift the other with an out breath. Take it down. And then start to lift. And as one goes down, the other goes up. So you can feel a bit more effort. And nothing else is really moving. It's just working on keeping where it is, keeping nice and still. Lifting and getting longer. Last one each side. And then we're going to take our arms forwards. I'm just going to shuffle back a little bit. So this time lift a leg and then lift the opposite arm. Take it down. Lift the other leg and the opposite arm. Take it down. You can see my palms are facing each other. But if it's a bit more comfortable with them downwards, palms down, you can go that way. And then start to lift together, so arm and leg together. Now your head is still downwards, but you might find it feels a little more comfortable just lifting that head and chest very slightly up and you're looking down. But you don't want to feel like it's pinching here. So really think about, instead of lifting them high, think about someone stretching, someone reaching that hand and that ankle and pulling in opposite directions. So how far can you get your fingertips from your toe tips? And we'll go for a couple more each side. There's one, two, and then rest on your hands and let your legs go a bit wider and just let your bottom sway from side to side, just easing off. And then take your hands under your shoulders and we're going to push back into a kneeling position. And if you don't like a kneeling position, you could go into a seated position instead. And we're going to go into a little cat-cow, a yoga style move, but it's in lots of different exercise sort of disciplines, this one. This is when you go into that scaredy cat. and then you drop your belly down. So think about lifting up. You're a cat that's very, very scared. And then you're sinking down. And if you did this sitting, if I show you from the side, you could push your hands forwards, pull your belly and back away and backwards, and then bring your hands to your chest and bring your chest upwards, pulling away. So that would be nice if your knees don't really appreciate that sort of all fours position. But you can also cushion under your knees or double a mat up under your knees. That can be nice. And then last one coming up. And start to circle your bottom. So if you're sitting, you just go round in a circle like that. And if you're in this position, it's like you're drawing circles. And you could drop down to your forearms if your wrists don't like the position very much. And then take it the other way. And then bring yourself, if you're not already seated, bring yourself to seated. Just a little something for the arms and the hands. So a little flashing, straight fingers coming in towards your thumb and then out. Just stretching out, giving them a wiggle. And then clasping or stacking the fingers again. And this is like a sort of roller coaster. I find this easy to go one way and then not the other. And I'm going to ask you to go the other way. Let's take it the other way. Oh, it's a bit of a cronky roller coaster. It's a sort of Mexican wave, this is sometimes called, but I might have to go back to my original. Oh, that way, yes. Are you getting the other way? Oh. And then take your hands out to the side. Let's scoop up the air. Breathe in and bring your hands to your chest. 30 minutes has passed already. Well done. Been lovely to have you here. I'll see you again next week. See you soon. Bye-bye.